Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Building with V for tips and tricks. Today we're gonna look at some tips and tricks to maximize on terraforming, give more life to our builds. Let's jump right in. Okay, so the first landscaping tip I want to talk about is the use of flowers. So our basic knowledge is that you need a cultivated land so that you can plant these little food here so that you can get the flower look pretty fancy look where you can get the seeds from, but we don't want to pick off the seeds because we're going to lose the flowers in the process. So the thing is that once you plant these guys here, and if you try to change the land, for example I put grass, now you're gonna see what happens. Now it says gonna needs cultivated ground. Now I just need to put that back and then everything is a-okay. Earlier I showed you when I changed the ground to grass. When these flowers were at their early stage of growing, it said that it needed cultivated land. But right now, at their fully grown stage, I can change the land to grass, and you'll notice that it is not asking you to change the land to a cultivated land. They are fine. They won't wither at all. Now, another thing I want to mention as well is that when you put a roof or anything that is like above the flowers, now if it was in the early stage it would tell you that it needs an open sky. Currently it's not telling you that at any point, it just remains the same, quite fine. So what you can do with this is that you can as you can see how the meadow look is just green grass all around, not much flowers there. You can actually just plant a few of these all around and kind of make the meadows look more, you know, meadowy. But yeah, that's a nice little terraforming trick that you can do. Now another reason why I wanted to mention this here, and I'm just gonna come over right over here at this little gazebo I made. Don't worry guys, I know that you want to see a tutorial for this. I am currently working on that for you, but I have to do this terraforming video first because there's something in that build which may intrigue you. But yeah, the thing is that I want to mention is that if I had think ahead and had those flowers planted here in the early stage, I wouldn't have a problem right now, because I tried to plant them earlier right here, but because of the roof it was blocking the you know, open sky basically. So what you can do is just have a layout, create the layouts. You kind of have an idea where your garden is going to be. You just plant your flowers there, wait till they are fully bloomed, then you just start building around it. Now the thing is that things can be placed near it and it won't wither or say it needs more space. So to maximize on the beauty of terraforming, you need to find the right location. And when I say right location, I mean in the location that fits with your build to bring it to life. Valheim have so many unique land formation that you can really capitalize on to bring life to your build. For example, I'm currently right here by this little river here. Now there's no actual rivers in the game, but because of this land formation you see it does kind of form like a river look. But you can make use of it by maybe creating a house near the river, having a little bridge going over on the other side, or maybe a house that is perched on top of a hill. There's many ideas that you can get from the landscape. You just have to explore a bit and see what the game has to offer you. So there's 4 beautiful biomes that you can certainly choose from. You have the meadows, which is the first one. You have the black forest, you have the mountains, and you have the lovely plains. Hey, what was that? Swamp is beautiful too.
Right here. Get right here, man.
And if you're wondering why I emphasize the lovely for the plains, because plains is my favorite biome. The whole atmosphere of it, the foliage, I just love it, except for the dying part. What is your favorite biome? Let me know in the comments below. The next tip is to work with your environment and don't be a shrub killer.
Have you ever had a dream that that you could
Nope.
Shrub lives matters, guys. Not only should you save the shrubs, but you should look for unique areas on the land. So for example, right now we're in a little grassy area with a few of these little popping up here and there. But if you notice that over here you have a few fern plants over here. Now not everywhere will have this, but you can look out for areas like this that you can use in your build or whenever you're doing some bit landscaping around. Now the beautiful part of this is that you can flatten the area and you work with it as you please, and then you can cultivate it back. So whenever you're exploring or going on an adventure, just look out for these unique areas that you can make use of in your builds. Now another thing that I wanted to show you guys, and this is pretty interesting. Now you know that you have some little areas where you go to and you will find some nice little lily pads and a few of those little things here and there. Now in like a landscape like this where you have these little vegetation already here, now if you dig like a hole just like what I have right now, you wouldn't, in your mind you would not be thinking that there will be any lily pads within this area. Now the thing is, the problem with this is that you can't decide where the lily pads go. It's just in case it is like in the program or in the landscaping program, it's just basically there. So this is where the cultivator becomes very powerful, where you can just cultivate land and you see what comes up right here. You get the little pads here, and I could just widen this area and create a pond. So I did a little terraforming here and widen the hole that I showed you earlier. Just kind of give you guys an idea that you not necessarily need to go ahead and find a pond and try to build around it, but you can also manipulate the land in your liking, just in case you have a little spot where little pads are able to sprout up. As long as you dig deep enough where water is, then you should be good from there. So the next thing that I want to show you guys is creating a beach. Now I've never seen anyone like play around with this kind of idea, but with the whole terraforming thing, I started to mess around with some levels of the ground and some little things. You kind of get an understanding of how things work. So right now I've leveled out the area here. Now I've raised the area over here as well, just kind of give you guys an idea as to how the level of the land kind of affects how the land basically transform. So at this level, and I basically use like the shoreline as a guide, where you can basically just stand somewhere right here and you just gonna get your hoe out and kind of level the area, and you get a certain level. If you make it too low, then you may get the little pads over there. Not sure if you do get it on the shoreline, but you just may get sand as well, depending on certain areas. So like for this here, you will get these little straw looking things. I don't remember the name of it. Someone told me in the stream and I forgot the name. But yeah, when I cultivate the land right here, so you get sand, right? And if I do this on over here, I can just make this nice little, I could make a beach right here. So for the shoreline, you will get the sandy look, but if you go back a bit inland, you will see that it starts to change gradually, and you no longer get the sandy look. You start to get this green look, dirt look. Now sometimes you may see this at the shoreline, and sometimes you just get the sand. Now for like over here where it's a bit higher than this side, if we cultivate this one, you see that you get grass. So at a certain level you will get the sand. So if I should stand over here and kind of bring this down a bit, then I do some terraforming, there you go, you get sand. And you can just use this to kind of create a beach. I mean, that's a sweet idea. I've never seen anyone do a beach build. Maybe I'd do a beach house. That would be cool. The downside of things is that the water keep on rising at times, and yeah, but it is what it is. Just kind of give you guys some ideas there. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is mastering the tools that you need to cultivate land, which is your hoe, your cultivator, and your pickaxe. Now pickaxe is basically easy. There's nothing complicated with it, you just basically whale on the land. So now the cultivator, by default, that area effect marker that you see right now, it is for the level of the land that I'm currently pointing at. So if I should cultivate that area there, is based on the height level of the land there. Now if I should walk down here and aim right up there where I was, it is based on that height of the land. So the hoe is pretty different from the cultivator because it's basically the opposite. So by default, the area of effect, that marker that you're seeing right now on my screen, is for the height that I'm currently at right now. So it's basically going to try to raise the land or level the land to the height of my feet, which if I do that, you see where it comes up a bit. Now it won't be able to come too much because there is a certain limit to what the hole can do unless you're going to raise the ground. But there's another thing that I want to mention is that and I must thank the guys from the community when I was doing my last stream, and they showed me this. So if I press the shift key, look what happens. So basically the area effect, this marker just kind of jump down to the level of the land where I'm pointing at. And so if I click on skill to level it, you see where it levels it to the height the land is currently at and not under my feet. Now this is pretty useful, and the reason why I wanted to mention this, because you can make like a slope pretty much easy now. So I was able to use that feature to create this this landscape right here and have this little pathway kind of perfectly sloping down, coming right up to the top right here, and having everything looks nice and smooth. Terraform some areas, mine a bit some of the areas, kind of make it look natural, and also using the cultivator at the side of the land. So another thing that I want to point out, that whenever you're using the hoe to raise the land, now from the point where the land naturally generates, so nothing has been terraformed right here. So right at this point here, if I start to raise the ground, I can only raise it at a maximum of 8 meters. So basically it is the same thing when you're mining downwards. You can go down to a maximum of 8 meters. So this core wood kind of gives you an idea as to how far down it is. And if in the case I wanted to create my own hill and gets the maximum height, I would have to basically terraform the land around it to make it seem a bit lower, raise the land of that point high, and then I would kind of get that hill that I need. Now this is something that I want to try and show you guys, and also put that gazebo on top of it. So it's time to put all of that into action. So what I want to do is to recreate that little hill at a more grander scale, put the gazebo right on top of it, and have this little pathway leading up to that gazebo on top. So let's see if we can find a proper location for this. So I was able to find this good spot right here, and it's gonna take a bit of the terraforming, get a few of the trees out of the way, but we should be good to go once we have everything in place. Before I even start raising the ground or working on the area, I just want to mark with the area where the bill is going to be, like a central point, and I just want to make sure I have like the staircase can be on a level ground, and also a pathway around the structure. So seeing that we have this here, so we're gonna go ahead and do some terraforming. So I want to thank Terralicious and Yaspar for popping in for the final preview video. Also want to let you guys know I have YouTube membership active where you can enjoy some perks, one of which is accessing my dedicated server. This access is also available on my Patreon, link is in the description. And I want to thank both my YouTube membership supporters and Patreon supporters for keeping the channel going. Thanks for watching and always aspire to inspire. Peace.